Few individual outbursts in NBA history have combined sheer disbelief, last-second drama, and a flair for the miraculous like Tracy McGrady's 13 points in 33 seconds performance in 2004. For one breathtaking half-minute, McGrady single-handedly erased a seemingly insurmountable deficit, stunned the San Antonio Spurs, and etched his name in the annals of all-time clutch moment. It remains a masterclass in never conceding a game until the final buzzer, demonstrating how a single player, if hot enough, can swing momentum and deliver an improbable win in the blink of an eye. To appreciate the magnitude of McGrady's feat, let's set the stage. By the 2004-2005 season, T-Mac was already recognized as one of the league's premier scorers. After emerging as a star in Orlando, he joined the Houston Rockets to form a formidable 1-2 punch with center Yao Ming. While injuries often dogged both superstars, there was no doubting McGrady's elite offensive prowess, a potent combination of length, ball handling, and a silky jump shot. Opposing defenses typically threw double teams at him to prevent his isolation drives or fadeaway jumpers. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball that December night in 2004 stood the San Antonio Spurs, a perennial Western Conference power led by Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili, famed for their discipline under head coach Greg Popovich. The game itself, played at Toyota Center in Houston, went mostly in the Spurs' favor. As the clock ticked under 1 minute remaining, they held a comfortable lead, enough to assume a routine victory. Many in the crowd were already preparing to file out, convinced the Rockets wouldn't mount a serious comeback against one of the league's best defensive squads. Then, everything shifted in a stunning flash. With 35 seconds left, McGrady buried a three-pointer to give a faint glimmer of hope. Houston immediately employed intentional fouling to stop the clock. Each time the Spurs tried to respond with free throws, T-Mac came back with an even more improbable shot, often from well beyond the arc. The defining sequence truly began at 33 seconds left on the game clock. Trailing by double digits, McGrady nailed a contested three, then stole an inbounds pass or received a quick feed after Houston forced a turnover, accounts differ in the frenzy, and drained another triple. The Houston bench went wild. The crowd realized something surreal was unfolding. Tim Duncan's confusion on defense, unusual for the Spurs, signaled how rattled they'd become. Somehow, in between these bombs, McGrady also drew a foul on a three-pointer and converted the four-point play. Each second felt accelerated, each basket more unbelievable than the last. Through a succession of steals, fouls, and inbound attempts, the Spurs found themselves helpless to stem McGrady's flurry. On the final possession, with mere seconds left, T-Mac dribbled up the floor and, facing a tight contest, pulled up from beyond the arc, launching one more three-pointer. As it dropped through the net, pandemonium reigned. The Rockets' bench erupted. Fans lost their voices in a collective roar. In a 33-second window, Tracy McGrady had scored 13 points and turned a near-certain defeat into a 81-80 triumph. Surprised camera operators struggled to keep track of the frenetic action, and the Spurs wore stunned expressions as they headed off the court. In the immediate aftermath, commentators gushed that they had just witnessed one of basketball's most dramatic comebacks. For Houston fans, McGrady's eruption symbolized the hopes pinned on him to lift the Rockets deep into the playoffs, a promise complicated by subsequent injuries but forever immortalized in that moment. The league at large marveled at how swiftly a single elite scorer could reel off points against an elite defense, provided the right mix of opportunity, hustle plays, like forced turnovers, and pure marksmanship. While Reggie Miller's 8 points in 9 seconds, a decade earlier, was already legendary, T-Mac's final tally outstripped it in raw volume, 13 points to Miller's 8. That night also amplified T-Mac's personal reputation as a natural scorer with a flair for the spectacular. Although critics might note he never advanced beyond the first round of the playoffs until much later, and in limited capacity, that moment captured his peak potential. A quick release, preternatural calm, and an almost unguardable shooting stroke coincided in a perfect storm. Fans still recall his strut as he left the floor, a mixture of elation and disbelief at what he'd just accomplished. For the Spurs, it served as an uncharacteristic collapse, though they rebounded to remain a title contender, eventually winning championships in 2005, 2007, and beyond. Greg Popovich, known for seldom letting leads slip away, rarely saw his team suffer such a concentrated barrage of unstoppable offense in the dying moment. It was a reminder that even the most disciplined squads are vulnerable when an opponent catches fire from three. The meltdown was overshadowed in later years by the Spurs' ongoing success, but the memory lingers as a cautionary tale about closing out games. Over time, the T-Mac sequence became a staple of highlight reels and social media flashbacks, especially whenever a team attempts an unlikely comeback in the final minute. Younger fans discover the clip and marvel at how unstoppable McGrady was in that blink of an eye. Writers revisit it as shorthand for sudden scoring explosion, a testament that, given the right combination of skill, confidence, and desperation, no gap is truly safe until the buzzer. In a league where last-second heroics abound, 13 points in 33 seconds remains an iconic reference point. In a broader context, the event underscores one of basketball's most thrilling aspects. The clock's presence means everything is possible until the final horn. No matter how improbable, a single star can turn the tide, especially under the three-point shot's influence. McGrady's spree validated the three-ball as a weapon of lightning comebacks. Even if at that time, analytics had yet to fully push teams to adopt high-volume three-point strategy, fans and players alike recognized the power of a hot shooter from distance to upset the game's balance in mere seconds. Ultimately, Tracy McGrady's 13 points in 33 seconds stands as a testament to how an NBA contest can flip instantly. The scoreboard and game flow, often taken for granted, can unravel when a special player seizes the moment. Though the 2004-2005 Rockets weren't destined for a championship, T-Mac's explosion remains their enduring high note, a cinematic burst of brilliance that underscores why spectators stay glued to the screen until the very end. Because in the NBA, nothing says drama quite like a flurry of improbable shots, and few flurries match what took place on that December evening in Houston, when Tracy McGrady delivered a small masterpiece in under half a minute.